Assume the position, Joey. Come.
If she has enough space.
Yeah, she's shy today, I guess.
Come on.
What's up?
Right. It's probably because I yelled at her about being on the couch today. Come on up, 6 toes.
Yes, that's a good story. Joey has 6 toes on her
Both back paws?
right rear paw.
I could have sworn it was on both.
The other one doesn't have the nail, at least.
Oh. Yeah, it's really weirdly entertaining to play with.
We have a mutant dog.
Yeah, we do. It's because she has a Pyrenees mix,
Yeah.
which we had no idea.
Yep, apparently Great Pyrenees have 6 toes on their hind legs because
Yeah.
they're mountain dogs. So, small fact for the day.
Yeah. But she's not even close to Pyrenees size.
No, not at all. We're going to talk about how actions speak louder than words. Yep, episode 10.
Have we perfected
We've
that?
made it to 10. No,
We made it.
look, everything that we talk about, we're talking about for ourselves too. We're not claiming to be perfect in any of these
Not at all.
areas. We preach to ourselves just as much as we
Oh, yeah.
preach to you guys. So
We learned a lot through parenting, what this actually meant.
constantly learning.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
So you got your pickup line?
I do.
Mm-hmm.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
So, do you believe in love at first sight, or should I walk in again?
You used that one.
No, I didn't.
You did it?
No.
Oh. Well, I'd like to see you walk by twice. Really?
I haven't used that one.
Oh, I swear.
No, probably something similar. There's only so many pickup lines you can use.
Okay. Well, either way, I'll give that a 5 for lack of originality.
I'll give that a 2 because you don't know how to say originality.
Yep. It's okay. You're probably going to rank mine a 2 also
Okay.
because it is original and
Oh,
I
God.
don't have skills. So,
Well, we're practicing.
yeah. Get it out now that you're already married versus...
Yep.
Okay. Do you like change?
Sure.
I knew it, because you're a dime. Cute face, little waist with a big behind.
That wasn't that bad.
Okay.
That was like a good, I'd give
Okay.
it like a 7, 8.
Good. That's my highest one.
impressive. That's original?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
I come up with these as I work out.
What song were you listening to?
I actually wasn't, because... Actually, maybe I was. I feel like it was a transition period. I was listening to... That's what it was. Chloe Kai and The Green came out with a new song. And so whenever a single
Really?
comes out and you play it, it obviously stops after that one song. And it stopped mid-set. So it was just dead silence. I was like, well, let me think of my pickup line. Okay.
Points for
So-
originality.
Yep, my highest score yet. We can end it here. Good
Good
talk.
night.
Actions speak louder than words. Okay. So, don't really know where to take this one.
Well, I don't know. What are some things that have happened this week where we really needed to reflect on our actions, especially when it comes to our kid?
All right, not when it comes to our kid, but confession.
Oh, God.
I feel as though, and I catch myself, but I want to stop saying I'm going to blank. Because I feel like once you say I'm going to blank, you already lost. You should just do it right then and there if it's possible, or at least take one step towards the action of accomplishing that task.
Okay. Was there something specific this week that you're like,
Yep, yesterday. So I said I'm going to clean the bathroom, which I finished the toilet part.
Yes.
And like I cleaned up. I just didn't want her breathing in all the bleach and stuff. So like I finished that, but I did not go through and clean both bathrooms,
oh,
Like in my mind, that's what I meant. But
I
you
see.
probably were like, "Oh, he did it." But
No, I know.
okay.
I knew. So I was like, it's not clean. I'll just do it tomorrow. It's
So-
it's a team task. Okay.
Yes, tonight after this. By the time we post it, nobody wants to see our clean toilet. That's gross.
No.
So never mind. I was gonna say I'll post
I'll
the
post how
picture
clean
of
our
our clean our
bathroom is.
bathroom.
I mean, people do on like
I'm
Instagram and
sure.
they show like, which I totally watch because it's like a
ASMR.
yes, and I am a clean freak, and I love when people like clean their washers and dryers with like like they do a deep clean, and I'm like, that's so cool. Which it's really not, but I think that that's like a motherly thing. I don't know, but I enjoy it. So deep cleaning does not bother me at all. It's kind of like a peaceful thing. And normally I don't use bleach, but I felt like our bathroom was getting to a point where we needed some bleach. So yeah, got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, because Gigi has some.
That kid is dirty.
Yeah.
But I also feel like the grime on the type of like, I don't know, the walls that we have in our showers, it just sticks so quickly. Mm-hmm. So,
And she has these bathtub crayons.
Yeah, the bathtub paints and all the fun stuff.
Yeah. So thank you to whoever got that for her for Christmas.
Yeah, it is messy and fun, but it does take a minute to scrub off.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it's only supposed to be soap, but it does not come off like soap.
Well, yeah, it would. I bet you if we took soap and rubbed it on the bathtub, it would take just as much to come off.
Oh,
Soap.
I guess a bar soap.
A cheap bar soap.
Yeah, I could see that. All right. Well, my reflection, I guess.
Yeah, go ahead.
Actions speak louder than words. I don't know if this is necessarily actions, but I kept kind of the same thing. Gianna always asks us if we're going to someone's house. And I know she doesn't want to necessarily go because she's really clingy to us right now, but we have to work. So I have been lying or bribing her a little bit just to get her to go so that she won't cry, because it breaks my heart every time I drop her off and she's crying. And then I started thinking about, what's going to happen when I drop her off at school? I can't keep bribing her with cake pops. And I was like,
Did you get her a cake pop on the way there? Okay.
No, I didn't, but I did say it and I totally lied again. So it's just those little things where I'm like trying to make my life easy.
Don't lie to your kid in those. Don't promise him something and not give it to him.
Yeah.
A distraction type lie or like whatever. I'm just as guilty of it, but not like I'm gonna give you this if you just be quiet.
Yeah.
And then like no, because whether or not that sticks with them, I just don't want it to.
Well, I noticed that she, especially with getting dropped off now, she's definitely picked up on the fact that I'm lying because she keeps asking me. And I'm like, oh gosh, dang it. This is like really going to bite me in the butt. Mm-hmm. So then I did tell her, I promised her that I wouldn't lie to her anymore when it comes. I'll tell her when we're actually going to go. And she actually took it well for someone who's
when I was
3 or 4 years old.
She's like, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Give me a hug and a kiss goodbye.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
She's starting to understand that concept of like if I said like, hey, I'll pick you up after like one time, then for some reason she thinks one time is like not that long.
Oh.
Yeah. But I guess to her, she's like, not 5 times, but one time.
Yeah.
And I'm
Her
like,
only
okay,
numbers right
time.
now are 1 or 5.
Yeah.
Okay, one more. No, 5 more.
5 more. Yeah. And even with her turning 4, she's like, I don't want to be this many years old. I want to be 5. And I was like, okay, well.
Too bad.
That's not
I
how
want
it
to go on
works.
the kitty cat ride.
Yeah.
She's looking forward to being 40 inches tall so she can go on a ride at Legoland.
By the way, she does want to go to Legoland this week.
Friday? Friday?
Friday?
Friday
Fun day.
Okay.
She's earned it.
Yeah?
She's been really good.
She has.
She has been so good.
She was an angel the whole Hawaii trip, and even being back, she hasn't really done a fit.
We haven't used our behavior chart. Have you noticed that?
It's been stuck on green.
Yeah. We have not been
using it.
using it.
Thing. Yeah.
Yep.
That 1 week, maybe 10 days of using it established the behaviors that we needed to.
Yeah. I'm highly impressed. I'm like, you know what, parent, good job, parenting. Let's go, same team.
Okay, so actions speaking louder than words. Let's just break it down within the multiple areas of life, from knowing people that are all talk,
Okay.
not calling them out, but if everybody's experienced that person where they're like, oh, I'm going to do this, or like that, and you're just like, your words are empty to me.
Well, I totally have something for that.
Okay.
Eventually, I don't know if you want to go first.
No, I'll just start off with, that's part of the reason why I left the corporate gym life, is that it was just so many false promises of, well, and just lying in general. I feel like action speaking louder than words comes down to lying.
Most of the time.
If you don't keep your word, at the end of the day, you are a liar.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, actions is just stepping up. So if you don't, then essentially you're
don't
lying.
talk about it, be about it.
Pretty much.
So this is such a multi-layered topic. It can go from the sports world to don't bite off more than you can chew commitment wise. Mm-hmm. I think it
all comes down to starting out with a good habit too. You do really have to practice that if you're not good at it, or at least be aware.
Yeah, because I'm again not perfect here, but I wonder if people that are just constantly false promising, mm-hmm. if they genuinely think that they can and it ends up not happening, or if they're just anxiety driven and therefore just, I don't know.
Well, I'll give a good example, because
yes, please.
When we first met and we started dating, I noticed that was something that was really big for you, like accountability, showing up, actions speak louder than words, especially when it came to going to church. The deeper we got into our faith, and we were trying to build our relationship. And me growing up, I love my family, but we would say things and like say we would go to things and then we wouldn't show up. Or like when I would create friendships and people would invite me to go to things, I was like, oh yeah, I'll go. And then I never showed up. And I didn't realize how impactful that actually was to a person until it started happening to me as I got older, and until we started to invest a little bit more into our church life. And we were really taught to be like, you had to be accountable in order to be like, in order to grow your faith. Mm-hmm. And that was scary for me personally. And I learned a lot. I felt very insecure in it. And I was like, ouch, that kind of hurts when like people don't show up for you, or maybe it's not a lie. Maybe that person's a little nervous. And I noticed that when we got married, moved out, and I started to step back into like my family's habits, I was like, oh, this sucks. I don't know how you put up with this for so long, Martin. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. So for all the kids, I mean, again, nobody's watching this, but one of the requests was trauma dump. So here we go.
Oh gosh.
My entire life growing up, people told me that they would be places and they never showed up.
That's so sad.
I'm just kidding.
I was like, wait, that's so sad.
It does not stem from any of that. I think I don't know, maybe witnessing other people within family, that didn't affect me personally. And I don't want to air out other people's stuff, but just people close to me that were left hanging in scenarios. And I was like, that seeing their pain, I just never, at least intentionally, wanted to have that happen to people.
Yeah.
So especially like attending something. And again, this is part of adulting in the early 20s of life.
Oh, yeah.
Sure, you bail out or whatever, but accountability is a huge part of adulting. So
yeah,
if you say you're going to be somewhere, be there.
Yeah. And even if you're not, I think communication is very, very important.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing. Like, I know I'd be like, yeah, I'd be there. And then I would feel guilty when the day would come and I would not text that person.
Yeah.
And it was really bad.
And don't commit with intentions to bail, because that's not a commitment.
Yeah.
But going on to the like church side of things, that's one of the things I liked about our crew, is that something that we value is participation over spectatorship. Spectating?
I'd say it's spectatorship. Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyways, is don't just be there and, you know,
Be a consumer.
yeah, there we go. Participation over consumption. So,
Yeah. No, I agree. That's not an easy thing to learn at all. And even like when we talk about like work, like you brought up everything over at 24 Hour Fitness. I'm noticing that so I coach college volleyball, and obviously within sports, there's a lot of recruiting. And I'll talk to somebody on the phone and completely get ghosted then for like a couple months. And then I realized like, oh, they're actually going to the school down the street. Like there was like shame to tell me the truth and be honest with it. And obviously now that I know what that feels like to kind of not really be accountable on your actions and like step up and just be honest, I'm like, it's okay. Like you could totally tell me if it's bad news. If it's not news I want to hear, it doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. It just helps me decide if I need to like move forward. But the generation now is so bad about being honest with the things that they want and showing up with their actions. And I'm like, it's totally fine. It is so normal.
it's all the stupid reality TV shows.
Yeah, maybe.
I'd swear that has shaped that
Yeah.
our
I don't even think
generation
they
of
watch
people
reality TV shows anymore. They just scroll.
Okay, it's still clips from things like that, or just everything is inauthentic and lack of transparency through social media.
Yeah.
So everything's about like showing or how you appear versus the reality of who you are, your character.
The highlights.
Yeah. So part of action speaking louder than words is, I think, there's your reputation versus your character.
That's a good point.
So you might, externally project this type of character, but your reputation is how people actually perceive you and know you, or vice versa, whatever I'm trying to say.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So like your reputation,
Yep.
what would you say it is versus like your character?
I would hope that they align.
Okay. Let's go back to like high school Martin. What was your reputation and what was your character? Or like immature Martin.
Yeah, I'm trying to. It would be. If only I could just like call Myron or Stefan or Avery really quick.
No, this is self-reflection.
I know. Well, I'm saying like they would be honest and be like, dude, when it came to being a friend,
yeah,
I would say I kept my word and I was there.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know what other aspects of being a high schooler. Do you mean your reputation? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Expand.
Well, exactly what you just said, though.
As a friend?
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like I was a good friend and teammate in high school.
Okay. So your reputation was what? Someone who was upstanding, someone reliable.
Yes.
Someone that someone could trust. Like a lot of
Yeah.
people did come to you for a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
You were kind of like Dad Martin.
Yeah. Okay, the voice of reason within our group. Yes.
Yes.
That was 100% me.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you never had an immature moment in any of that?
No, I 100% did. But
Okay.
again, I was a high schooler. But no, something I don't like talking about myself.
I know
to
you
this
don't. That's why I'm
degree.
asking.
I know, so uncomfortable. But something that I appreciate Jeff and everything that, his words carry weight. Talking about somebody whose actions speak louder than words.
Mm-hmm.
That makes your words carry that much more weight because you back it up. But his words of affirmation or whatever, things that he says about me, like to my face,
Mm-hmm.
is that I'm dependable and that I'm accountable, whatever. Like he knows that
you'll be there.
I'll be there. Mm-hmm. So
That added
yeah.
some weight too.
Whatever. That's your action speaking louder than words. It's just, okay, on a friendship level, keep your commitments.
Yeah.
And this kind of goes into the whole like conversation we had last week of arrows out, and that again, I don't. As I was editing,
What?
well, I guess it wasn't last week; it was the week before. But as I was editing it, I was like, we probably said arrows out perspective like 100 times. So we get it, yeah. Okay, but
We're pretty keen on topics.
yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, but it was like, oh my gosh, dude, figure out how to speak.
Well,
But
in our defense,
that was the topic.
It was a
day, and we
topic.
had it for 5 different sub
yeah,
topics. But
and we record these later in the evening. I know I don't have a brain past 2:00.
yeah,
So, and I solely rely on your brain to like carry the team right now.
yeah. So action speaking louder than words. Keep your commitment, no matter what if you say you're gonna do something for somebody or be there for somebody, be there.
Yeah, and for yourself.
And that's where I was
thank
going,
you.
right? I think you could try.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. That's where we were going. So how internally do you allow your actions to speak louder than words? Not just your commitments towards others or like what you say you're going to do. Because, go ahead.
There's so many different types of people and brains. Like I could use my sisters as an example, which I'm totally going to use. Love you guys. I've always been very goal oriented. So holding myself accountable, super easy. Showing up with actions for like myself, super easy. My sisters, on the other hand, have had a little bit of a harder time with it. And I don't know.
You don't know how to hold people accountable.
Me?
Yeah, you don't.
What do you mean?
No, you're too, oh, it's okay.
No, I was talking about holding myself accountable. I know how to hold myself accountable.
Continue.
Yeah, don't even go there, sir.
I won't.
Don't even go there. I know I'm a pushover. I'm working on it. It's not perfect. I'll get there.
Actions speak louder than words.
Anyways. So my sisters, on the other hand, may take the slower approach to holding themselves accountable. Everything is maybe like somebody else's fault first before it becomes their fault. Mm-hmm. But they don't recognize that until they get all their emotions out. And that process might take a little bit too long. So I don't know if it's just like the way people's brains are wired sometimes. Like I know I'm very over analytical and I overthink even if I was talking to a stranger.
Paralysis.
Yeah. Like if I was talking to a stranger, I'm like, oh my God, why did I just say that to them? That sounded so dumb. Like that's the first thing I like think about. Mm-hmm. Whereas like my sisters, they flow so naturally in conversations. And I'm like, how do you guys do that?
It's full of BS.
Well, I mean, maybe,
Yeah.
but they're
not calling them out,
Yeah.
but like you can just tell when somebody that's so, if you got a lot of words to say,
yeah.
probably don't carry much weight.
No, but they are a lot, especially Aubrey. She's very natural when it comes to conversation.
Thou dost protest too much.
She's very natural when it comes to having conversations with people. Like she can meet anyone on the side of the street and make a friend. And I've always thought that was kind of cool. But when it comes to like accountability with like schoolwork, jobs, whatever it is, it's tougher for her. Because that self-reflection maybe isn't there. And she like doesn't quite understand how impactful that could be.
Welcome to our roast session.
Anyways, my sisters know I say this to their face 24/7. I love you both. This is not a bash session.
This is the bit that I'm going to post for.
This is just how different our brains work, I guess, and how it's tougher for some people to be accountable. And I know I'm not accountable maybe when I step out of myself and like trying to show up to make new friends. I'm not strong in that.
Yeah, everybody has their areas where they're full of BS.
Right.
So,
and that's me. But my sister is very strong and accountable in showing up for her friends. Like she just drove all the way to Irvine in the rain to go hang out with a friend. I was like, I would never do that. And that's because her friend needed her. So I'm just saying, there's just different types of people and what they value in accountability too.
Yeah. So here's my bit on personal accountability.
Okay,
Not
go.
just for myself, but again, being a trainer, the moment somebody figures out what I do, they just start like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. In my head, I'm like, I don't care. I don't want to hear your words. If you want to like work with me or if you need help, I'll give you my suggestions. But I don't feel like you got to tell me all this stuff that you're not going to do just because you know that I'm a coach. So,
Yeah. By the way, he does this in our marriage too when I get excited about things.
tell me more. Elaborate.
Like if I come home and I'm like, oh my gosh, we're going to do like
yeah.
XYZ. This is going to be so fun. And then Martin's like, why are you even doing that? Yeah. Why you even do that? You don't even finish anything. And I was like, okay, relax. I was just getting excited.
Yeah. There's a difference. I'm not much of a dreamer because I don't have patience. Like I have vision, but the moment that I buy into it, I want to make it happen.
Oh, I know.
As you have felt this week.
But
Confession.
Go.
I have been all over properties in Hawaii.
Yes. And even
Not that we're
sending me a
even
job
in-
application for a position in Hawaii.
I was just trying to estimate the, job fields that are available out there. And yeah, head volleyball coach happened to be available. That doesn't mean we're going to apply by any means, never, because there's reality of like.
That's a big transition.
Yeah, big transition where it's not. Sorry, we're getting off topic.
I know.
But.
And that is an example.
Yeah, personal accountability to me, or from me, for me,
to you,
holding myself accountable on the like external side of things. I feel like that's simpler. It's the internal integrity, and maybe this is just me being very critical of myself. I don't know. I don't want to label that as an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
And Frank was talking about this yesterday during the gathering, was feeling that tug of the spirit that let's just call it sin. And I know that's a heavy word, and maybe one day, probably with somebody else on here, we'll break that down, because that can lead you into a whole nother, like, what is sin type thing. But just to keep it simple, when you feel the tug of the spirit revealing that something of what you're doing or about to do or thought process, whatever, doesn't align with the love that flows from God, that's what I'm talking about. So an example being with Gianna, there's instances where I'm like today, I just wanted to take a quick 20-minute nap. And so I'm laying there, get her to lay down, and in my mind, I'm like, okay, I can feel the anger rising within me. And I'm thankful that I had the awareness to eat, because it depends on the day, honestly. But thank God for his grace of me not lashing out, because there have definitely been times where I'm like, Gianna, shut up. Or just, lashing out for no reason, or acting out. That's what I view as internal accountability or integrity.
Okay.
And allowing your actions internally to speak louder than your words. Like, are your prayers of like, help me with this, lead me away from temptation or whatever, are those words just empty? In personally speaking, I can feel the seasons of life where that just feels like empty weight. Although I honestly would like for that not to happen. As I reflect, it's like, well, are you really going to take the steps to make it change? Yeah. And it's like, my big thing is patience. It's like you can be like, hey, God, help me with patience. He's not just going to be like, I like Azam. You're patient now.
I
It's,
wish.
no, he, provides situations in which you can demonstrate patience. It's a sharpening of your tool set.
Yeah, you can almost think of it as like a coach-player relationship.
Yeah, no, it
sometimes.
really is. Because,
Yeah.
again, we view him as a father, daughter, son relationship. And so, yes, Joey, you could just feel a sense of like, okay, am I being coachable in this moment right now? Or am I being a little bit stubborn and like just falsely saying I want to change within these internal areas of my life, but I don't want to put in the effort to change. I want him to create the change for me versus me putting in the work to create the change.
Yeah,
So,
I like that.
yep. And this isn't the verse for the day, but it's something that helps me. Let me not mess up my words or where it's from. So I guess this will be the bonus verse of the day. Psalm 19:13. Yep. So I've never really been one for like consistent prayer or meditation, like repeat, like the rosary or like stuff like that. That's again, I'm not knocking Catholicism there, but that never really appealed to me. But over the last like 3 months, a verse has kind of stood out, and it is Psalm 19:13 and 14. Joey, you know it? Take it. Which is, and it to me comes across as a prayer, but keep your servant from willful temptation, may it not rule over me, that I may be blameless, innocent of great transgression. May these words of my mouth and meditation of my heart be pleasing in your sight, Lord, my rock, my redeemer. So
This all ties into your patience.
yeah, just attempting to have that as on the forefront of my mind. Because yes, prayer and the word does, work, for lack of better words. Like, yeah.
I mean, there are prayers in the Bible that are there for reasons like that too.
Yeah, it's prayer is more about what it does internally.
Yeah.
Because God doesn't need your prayers. He doesn't need your praise. He doesn't need any of that.
And sometimes the redundancy of the same prayer for like
loses its power.
Yeah.
And one is we don't have any power. It's all his power anyways.
Yeah.
But what it does internally within you, that's the more important part.
Yeah. There's nothing worse than when your prayer always is like, Lord, help me with this. Lord, help me with that. I'm like, what's something a little bit deeper that you can touch on? Yeah. And like, what are words of God that he's already spoken to you? You just haven't, you need like a refresher.
It's prayer's about listening more than it is about talking. Yeah. So should we transition to our verse of the day or family time and how your kids learn from what you do?
Let's go on verse since we're already kind of talking about verses.
Okay. So 1 John 3:16 through 18. This is how we know what love is. Jesus Christ laid down his life for us, and we ought to lay down our life for our brothers and sisters. If anyone has material possessions and sees a brother or sister in need, but has no pity on them, how can the love of God be in that person? Dear children, let us not love with words or speech, but with actions and in truth. And so I know there's a lot to unpack there, but it's really just about your actions speaking louder than words. And so if you claim that the love is within you, are you hoarding your material possessions? Meaning like money's a whole different topic. Maybe that's a day that something we talk about a subject for an entire day's worth of subject. But yeah. But the things that you have, they're not really yours to claim anyways.
No.
So, and which is, I'm very much still learning that, because I grew up the firstborn brother with a 6-year age gap before my first sister, and everything was like mine, mine, mine. That's mine. Stop touching my stuff. And
Yeah,
I'm
you are.
still,
You're
yeah. That's mine.
you're in your 30s and you still struggle with
Yeah.
that. I never thought about that.
Don't touch my stuff.
Yeah. An example. I asked to touch something on your, or like clean up something on your nightstand,
Yep.
and instantly snapped. Don't touch my stuff. I was like, I was just asking if you wanted me to clean it before I even tried to touch it because I didn't want you to get
no. I know where my stuff is.
I know.
Yep.
I don't touch your stuff.
Here we go. We're going to unpack our relationship here.
Oh, yeah.
Here's my mindset on that. We each have our own nightstand.
Mine looks really pretty.
We're going to post pictures right here.
Yeah.
Riley's nightstand, Martin's nightstand.
Mine
as
looks
it stands right now.
like a decorative. Oh, yeah. You can take a picture.
Okay. So
mine is decorative and it looks like I'm married and I have style in class. Yours looks like you are still in college and
anyways,
and you're single.
what I'm trying to say here is it came across to me like, oh, your nightstand is messy. I'm going to clean it for you. To which I was like, hold up. You've got all this laundry all over the place in our room. Fix your stuff before you try to correct me. And she wasn't trying to do that at all. She's just like, I am cleaning up and
I have a process of orders when I clean. Like everything else has to be clean before I do
the big stuff.
The laundry. Like I need to make the bed. I need to clean the tables. I need to make sure everything's wiped down. And then when I feel clean, I feel like our clothes feel clean. So then when I could fold our laundry without feeling like everything's messy.
Yeah, here we go. Airing it out. Riley doesn't do dishes and she doesn't do laundry.
I think we already mentioned that.
Yeah, dishes we talked about last time.
Yeah, dishes and laundry are not my strong suit.
But laundry is...
I know. It's my terrible habit. You know what? I should make that my 2025 goal is to just do my dang laundry. Because, but I do everything else. I don't mind
folding your laundry, washing it, folding it. It's... If it takes me an extreme amount of effort to put it away because everything is so cluttered and stuffed, I'm like, I'm not going to do it.
I've kept them organized.
No, you have improved a lot.
We're working on it.
Yes. So action speaking louder than words there.
Yes.
And I guess that's part of it is or not part of it, but an aspect of helping others, like letting your words create actions within others. That was so hard to get out. But how do you use your words to help others take action?
Yeah.
Is one, you got to do it through love. And to, again, expand more on this verse is having pity on them. Of not in a positive way of like, okay, they're human just like I am. Mm-hmm. That specifically talks about like material possessions and see somebody in need, but you see somebody in need in a different area more than just material possessions. Yeah,
like when you leave your toenail clippings on the floor, I sweep those bad boys up, no complaint. I've caught in a few. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay. Mm-hmm. Red-handed, but again, let us not love with words or speech, but with actions and in truth. So how do you allow your words and speech to create actions within others without coming across as being nitpicky?
I think, that requires a lot of trust.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, first you have to have the level of rapport and trust with the individual. Otherwise, your words don't carry weight.
Yeah. I think trust is one, action is two, but also like making sure that person doesn't just... It doesn't seem like they're just like failing at what they're doing.
That's a weakness of mine. My entire life, I've been told that my tone.
Your tone sucks.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah, your tone's very harsh.
Yes.
And I think if my mom wasn't as tough as she was on me, then I would cry a lot more.
So I guess that's an area of opportunity to work on with me.
Well, this is actually a really good...
If you know me,
yeah,
you Go ahead, expand.
Well, this is actually a really good topic that you bring up. Just like you brought up, like my laundry.
Yep.
And
Here we go.
how I started
My turn. Hot seat.
I started to pick up my slack a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think our conversations, even about your tone, I've definitely seen a huge difference. And
Within the last year and a half.
Yeah.
Trending up. Yeah.
Yeah. And like I know what little things will set you off where I'm like, oh my God, I forgot to do that. Or I'm like, oh shoot, I don't know which Martin's gonna be in the house today. And then I'll come in and you're just like, hi, Beb.
See, I'm trying. I'm
like,
learning.
oh, he's holding it in. And I'm like, I love you. Thank you. I know the dishes aren't done. The kitchen looks like a mess. You're the best.
Yep. See, and so it was what, about a year or a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. I don't know. But we're going off the rails, off topic here, but it's all part of marriage.
I mean, technically, it's all accountability and showing up with actions.
Yeah. So.
And you asked, how do you like get someone's
like,
words to attach?
Yeah. Is that you were like, you don't listen. I was like, okay, hold on. That's like, she said that before. Probably 3 or 4 times. So I think I have to listen.
Please.
It was, yeah. You remember that?
I do.
And I was like, oh, okay, it's just now clicking and everything's slashing back to you've actually said that multiple times. So I guess I got to learn how to listen. But yeah.
Yeah, which is so funny. I don't think I've actually really like intentionally said you don't listen. I try to beat around the bush because I'm a pushover. You
told me that time.
Yeah, no, I did 3 times. I remember that because I was like, you don't listen.
Yep. I'm all ears now. All right, so
you're the best.
Your kids are always watching you, and they pick up on their sponges. Again, you can talk to any parent, and they'll say that. And so I got a story. Within the whole like bedtime scenario earlier today, why am I blanking on what Gigi said?
Was she talking back to you about something?
Yeah, she was talking back, but she said, "You're irritating me."
Oh, what did you tell her? You told her to do something?
No, I just said like lay down or go to bed, or I was just making a request. One, she hates being bossed around because she will say, "You're being bossy." I'm like, oh, which she came up with on her own.
Yeah, she totally told me in the kitchen today. She's like, "You stop bossing me around." I was like,
yeah.
First of all, I'm your mother and you have to brush your teeth.
Yeah. Yeah, she's in a don't boss me around phase, which I'm all for it because I'm for it because it gives us an opportunity to say, hey, there's difference between bossing you around and holding you accountable.
Yeah.
So I'm going to lose it. I don't remember specifically what she said, but something about like you're annoying me or you are bothering me. No, not that. Dang it.
It'll come back to you.
It's not. But I was like, where did you hear that? How did you learn that? She goes, Mommy. I was like, but I not throwing you under the bus here because I know I've said that same thing to her.
I know I've said something along those lines.
Yeah, what?
I would say I would call her. I'm like, you're being annoying.
No, something other than that. Maybe it started with E.
An E. Yeah. I don't know. I'll have to think about it.
Getting on my nerves.
No.
I know it's not an E, but.
No, like I told her knock it off earlier today, and she's like, "I'm not the dogs. Don't tell me knock it off." And I was like, "Oh, sorry."
That's funny.
She's so witty.
Yeah. I love that about her, though.
I do. It's tough, but she's when she becomes an adult,
she's gonna be able to hold her own.
Yeah. So I'm okay with it as long as there's respect on both ends.
Yeah. Here's another accountability story. So Jeff was watching the kids during the gathering this weekend. I told you. Anyways, I'm gonna tell them.
Sure.
So we were at a house in which one of the people who lives in that house is a police officer. And maybe he was working night shift or something, but the kids had to go down to the garage instead of playing upstairs because he's trying to sleep. And as they were transitioning to the garage, one of the kids, I don't want to name drop because I don't know if people want their kids' names out there, but says, "Oh, my uncle is a police officer." And Gigi goes, "No, the police officer's bad. The police officers are bad." Which Jeff then told me, because anytime somebody's watching our kids, I'm like, "How was she?
Yeah.
Was she?" But
What did she
she's
say?
definitely trending up, and she's yeah. But he's like, "No, she was great. She didn't talk back or anything." He's like, "But there was one thing," and then to which he said the whole like they were going downstairs, and she's like, "The police officers are bad," and talking about actions speaking louder than words. Your words come back to bite you. I think that's why.
Yeah.
Is whenever Gigi doesn't want to get in her car seat, we say, "If you don't get in your car seat, the police are gonna get us.
Yeah.
The police are gonna get us in trouble." So she just associates police with being like getting you in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is not, I don't think we've maybe once or twice we're like, the cops are going to get you just to get her to do something or listen, but it's usually car related.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, usually. Or sometimes we'll kid around with her, like if the police officers, if we hear sirens or
Oh,
something.
yeah. If
around.
we hear, because we live close to a fire station
Yeah.
and an elderly home, so there's a lot of sirens going on. And I get that's not a police siren, but she doesn't know the difference. So.
No. We'll say like, oh, they're catching the bad guys.
Oh, we're going to get you.
Yeah.
Dang, we do say that.
Which is so funny because her papa is law enforcement too, which I don't really think she understands that he is.
Mm-mm.
He's just
all right,
papa.
you've got 10 minutes until your thing, so that's that.
Yes.
Your kids watch everything you do. So
Yeah. Hold yourself accountable.
Yourselves accountable. Questions from the kids?
Do we have
Question fairies here.
Do we have questions from the kids?
Yes, I asked some kids over the weekend,
Okay,
and we
nice.
got two from them. We're gonna try and keep this within 10 minutes.
Okay.
2 questions, 5 minutes each.
Yeah.
1 or 2.
1.
Okay. Question 1: how do you have, or how to obtain a work-life balance? So she was talking about like within athletics, because obviously school and sports are their work right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say which kid has a job.
Yeah, no, but like as an adult, work-life balance or athletics, schoolwork, balancing all of that with social life.
Well, it's entirely different now, even from when we were student athletes, because I would even say it was slower. But time management, huge.
Mm-hmm.
Don't put too much on your plate if you know you can't take it.
Which goes into the whole action speaking louder than words.
Mm-hmm.
Do the work first.
Yeah. And it's really just delegating time, honestly. Like if you don't have time for friends that weekend, get as much homework done as you can so that you can have more time next weekend. And that's pretty much adulting too. Like whatever work we have, we try to get it all done as much as we can so that we have more time to dive into our friendships and things like that.
Yeah, it's making your time count. Because once a kid comes into your life, your time is occupied a lot more. But within the whole high school, balancing sports and school and social life is don't waste your time with, look, I grew up when we grew up when social media was first becoming a thing. So MySpace, Facebook,
I think Instagram started
AIM,
in 2008
AIM.
or 9.
So like just being getting home. And again, volleyball schedule is completely different than football schedule. Football was like get home, your practice. Well, in high school, practice was right after school. So we'd be getting home at like 7:00, where some of these girls are starting practice at 7:30.
Yeah.
Or 7:30 to 9:30. But this group in particular is the 5:30 to 7:30 time slot.
Yeah.
So you're getting home, I would imagine, around 4, and you're probably leaving your house around 5, which doesn't give you much. But during your school, do
your homework
your homework during class.
Yeah.
Or like and that, again, I'm ignorant to how schools operate now, but do your homework in class or get ahead and like I was a big outline person. Like I would try to put together as much stuff as possible, build the skeleton, the foundation. So all I had to do was just dot my I's and cross my T's.
I'm the same way.
Yeah, because that was my version of managing my time.
Yeah.
Also because I wanted to be lazy once I got home. So after practice, I would, eat dinner and then do like an hour maybe of homework and then.
Yeah. Well, I felt like when I was in school too, my brain was more on than when it was at home.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely took my time over lunch to do homework because what else are you going to do in high school over lunch except try to talk to people?
Yeah.
Which I didn't really care for.
Yeah, I wasn't. I don't know.
I wasn't social. Well, my school was
I definitely didn't do. Our school had, I forgot what it was called, ELP, Extended Learning Period. It was a 35-minute window where after your first class of the day, you can go to whatever classroom you wanted to. So I would always go to Coach Williams' office and just do my homework.
Yeah.
And then you would go to your second class or lunch. Second class. Lunch was after second class. But yeah. So I know most schools have some type of downtime between classes or a class designated to doing homework. So just do it.
Yeah.
I think that covers that. And then as far as like prioritizing or how to have the social life.
I think it just depends on what your goals are. I've met kids who are like all AP and they do 3 sports and they don't really care for a social life.
Yeah.
Like their social life is their sports.
I was going to say, just grow deep within your relationships that you have versus trying to grow so wide in so many relationships because high school is going to be over fast and you're not going to see 90% of those people again.
Yeah.
So enjoy time with your teammates, which I feel like that team in particular does a very good job of not having cliques on their team. And
Which team?
The 16s.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they just all get along with one another. And,
they're a great group of kids.
And then question 2 is, how does life change with a kid?
So
short version.
Much. No sleep. You don't get to watch TV anymore.
Yeah,
forget it.
TV is.
Yeah, the amount of times that my phone, like I'm not on my phone nearly as much as I used to be with Gigi, because I don't want her seeing me just like mindlessly on my phone. And when I do catch myself, I make sure that I'm more attentive to her, or like we like tag team each other on that. When you need a break, or if I need a break, one of us always has to be attentive.
Yeah.
So, your life isn't yours.
Yep.
You literally belong to your kid, and they run your world.
Yeah, and speaking on the whole phone thing, Gigi has no shame in being like, put your phone down, phone down.
Absolutely, which is great.
I love.
Yeah. Or even our computers. She's like, stop working.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm, the kids are working out in the weight room, and then mainly on the weekend, she'll want to play on the court. And so I'm like on my phone booking the kids that are there for that day. And she's like, put your phone down. I'm like, I just got to finish this one thing. And she's like, put your phone down.
Yeah.
Like,
I have to tell her, I'm like, okay, 1 minute. And she's like, okay, 1 minute. I'm like, okay, go take a lap and then come back. And she'll do it.
Yeah, but how does life change after a kid is your time is basically cut in half, free time at least.
Yeah.
If not, you only have 25% of the free time that you used to have.
Yeah. And your awareness too is solely on your kid. Like sometimes I forget to even like brush my hair or remember if I showered that day because I'm just more concerned about getting her stuff done.
Yeah, and also whether this is negative or positive, I don't know, but we were married for almost 2 full years before having a kid. But those first 2 years of marriage, I still felt like when I was off of work, I could go hang out with like Ricky for 2 hours or
Yeah.
just go and maybe we would still have at least 2 hours of time together.
Yeah.
But now with
It's
having
family
a kid,
time.
it's family time
Yeah.
and it's your social life. Like I love Ricky and I haven't seen him in a while because granted that he, our schedules just don't align as much anymore. But yeah, it's
Yeah. Well, that's why I think it's important that you get your guy time. Like you have your
game night Friday nights.
Yeah.
It's Friday night or Saturday night, but
Yeah.
one of those nights, and I still have to sometimes like, hey Riley,
I know.
4 or 5 p.m. rolls around, and I'm like, okay, how do I tell her that we got game night tonight?
It's if you tell me the day before, I'm usually like, okay, yeah, have fun. But it's the day of that I'm like, but I wanted to hang out. And if I had girlfriends here, I would go hang out with them. But I literally just go
Yeah,
drive to my
girlfriends,
mom's. Yeah. Well, all my friends don't live here.
Right. True.
So
yeah, we did the pickup lines, we did the verse, we got the questions from the kids.
yeah, I have to hop on a work call
Riley's got a work call
tonight. So
we made an episode in less than an hour.
woohoo. World record.
Yep.
Hopefully you guys took away from our like crazy tangents.
Yeah, that was.
We were all over the place, but we also
We made it through 10 episodes.
Yeah, we did.
So I think that means
guest time.
it's gonna keep going, and we're gonna start, which probably won't happen next week, but
No. But if someone
are
is
gonna start-
watching, maybe comment about like people that you would be like, oh, this would be cool to have that person.
because they
on.
know the people that we know.
Yeah.
First of all-
my mom watches this. She's like, put me on.
Yeah, I can see as I upload one video that the previous video only has like 7 views. I'm like,
It's my mom, my sister, Savannah watches it too.
I'm gonna have to ask them.
Yeah.
What did you think of this one?
Oh yeah, I ask for feedback all the time. I'm like,
Yeah.
so what'd you think? But
So yeah, we'll have guests on because that was our goal. We wanted to make it through 10, one to kind of just learn because we know
we
for
don't know what
sure
we're doing.
they have not been. The production quality is 0, but at least you get the authenticity that we.
Yeah, we're bringing
wanna
back
put out there.
2000s YouTube style.
Yeah, you're not gonna get cinema out of us.
No,
but-
you're getting all the cheesy videos. So hope you enjoy it.
Yep. All right, that's it.
Right.
Goodbye, folks.
Good night.
Bleep, bleep, bleep. That's all, folks.
Oh no.
That was bad. No. Dang it. Bye.
Bye.